Say a splendid affair for the Australians after they were put into bat by David Waugh. They finished at 207 for 3 at the close of play, with Mark Taylor on 96 not out. An excellent innings from the skipper, Alan Border. He played just the right knock at the right time, came out and had just a little bit of good fortune, but he deserved it and carried the attack to England and saw Australia through to 207 for 3. The bowling figures, well, I didn't think England bowled as well as they might have, but then perhaps they weren't allowed to. Taylor and Border in that 117-run partnership did very well. 2 wickets for De Freitas, 1 for Foster, and none for Newport, Pringle or Gooch. But overall, I thought the bowlers were just a little bit too short on this Headingley pitch. Well, the second day at Headingley dawned fine. The forecast was good, and the Australians had in front of them the chance of batting right through for as long as they wished, or perhaps England were going to bowl them out. We join it now in the 84th over. That's the 3rd over of the day. It's the first ball, and 4 runs have been added, 211 for 3. Mark Taylor has moved along to 97. Here he is facing Derek Pringle. And that looks as though it will be a marvellous moment for Mark Taylor. A century in his debut test against England. He's the 15th Australian to do it, and the 9th Australian to do it in the first innings of a debut. He's also the 15th Australian to make 100 at Headingley. A lovely innings from a very good young player. 272 balls, 351 minutes up to now, and 11 fours. Oh, that's an even better stroke. A lovely free swing of the bat, but once again, I reckon on the replay you'll see that his head stayed perfectly still in the stroke.
Well, that's just like an action replay. Could have been the ball before. Absolutely perfect finish again.
Just didn't carry, but what a great effort that was by Gooch.
It's just that little bit of extra bounce here. No real movement. Just bounced a little bit higher, and Taylor not quite getting over it. And Gooch, marvellous stop. Full stretch to his left hand, but on the half volley.
Now Neil Foster. There's Dean Jones, 64 deliveries for his 23. Very much the junior partner in this stand, which so far is now worth 76. $250 up. De Freitas now replacing Philip Newport. Oh, it's a lovely shot from Taylor, and what form he's in now.
The change here from Mark Taylor, driving the ball beautifully away through mid-wicket there.
Neil Foster. It's down the hill. It's a perilous chase down there for Chris Broad. And Broad did not see that hit the rope. David Shepherd is the umpire. Now, he looked up for some sort of confirmation that the ball had touched the rope. Chris Broad, in fact, I think overran it and didn't see it. Thank you very much, David.
Mark Taylor again pushing the ball away, teasing the English batsman on whether the ball's going to get to the boundary or not. Chris Broad just gets his foot to it, but there we can see the ball in fact touches the rope. Chris Broad wouldn't have realised that, and in fact it was 4 runs.
Oh, what a poor shot. He's out. Well, not a good shot. And there he goes, Mark Taylor, after a long and creditable performance. Strange way for a superb innings to end, because it was an innings of patience, of technique, of craft, and of extreme value to his side. No doubt he'll get a standing ovation. Mark Taylor, LBW to Neil Foster.
That's a delightful stroke. I'll swear that that was nothing more than a defensive push.
Well, they always say, show the bowler the maker's name on the bat, and this is a perfect example. He really did show him the maker's name there. No real follow-through, just solid at the bottom, and that ball sped away down the hill there, heading there.
Here's Pringle. Very fine half-century for Dean Jones. Only 105 balls. An official warning there for Derek Pringle, getting too close to the line of the stumps. Umpire John Holder has spoken to David Gower. He signalled to the bowler as well. And there's the reply from Stephen Waugh, which adds a little bit of insult to the injury of being warned. The 50 partnership has come up between Waugh and Jones.
Philip de Freitas now bowling to Dean Jones. And did that carry? It looked as though it did.
Dean Jones playing this away on the onside, flicking the ball away with his wrist there. And it looks as if the ball just carried there to Kim Barnett, diving away to his right. He'd be disappointed not to hold on to that catch.
There's a great shot. Wasn't a great ball, but 4 runs.
Beautiful example here, how to drive the ball off the back foot. Beautiful sideways position there. Got high there on the back foot. Beautiful timing, and the ball goes away very quickly to the boundary.
Well, there we go. That's a big hit. Not only wrong direction, but wrong length. 4 runs, but hooked with great authority by Dean Jones.
Aiming the ball very high away towards square leg, but in fact the ball just pitching there in front of the rope. So 4 runs to Dean Jones.
Well, that's a shot of cool and marvellous timing. He knew exactly where the field placing was on the offside.
He must have learnt this shot from a player who's played here many times, Tony. Jeff Boycott, beautiful balance. Jeff Boycott, very famous for this shot, but beautiful balance there. Great power again.
It's brilliant. Punches his bat at the dressing room because that's his 50. You might call that pugnacious batting, but he's got a lot of style as well. Yes, lovely shot. That's the 3rd time that Steve Waugh's found that boundary, square on the offside. Such a good competitor.
And a powerful player, Tony. Either front foot or back foot. Again, that's a lovely finish. Left elbow high and really perfect follow through. And England now in dire trouble. Nothing to play for now but to save the match.
And again, I I think this must be the best I've seen him play. He's really picking them out, finding the gaps. It's as if someone has put a cassette of the field placings right in his mind there, and he knows exactly where the ball is going. Done it again. It's there to be hit.
Well, this wicket has a little bit in it for the bowlers, but the one thing you've got to do is keep it on line and length all the time, and England haven't done that. They bowled 2 or 3 good deliveries, and then you get the half volley or the bouncer, and Australia being very quick to punish it.
That's a brilliant shot. A brilliant shot. It stood up, and again Steve Waugh waited and waited and cracked it square. Well, it must be a fly past our Australian geese, I think. There it goes again. Barnett was much deeper at point, and still Steve Waugh picked his place behind square.
Yeah, there's no doubt this is Steve Waugh's favourite shot. He plays it beautifully.
Steve Waugh is taking to running up and down the middle of the pitch, but he's doing it so quickly, I don't think he's actually making a single dust mark at all. And the 400 comes up, 400 for 4.
And the Australian run in between the wickets has been excellent. All the batsmen have been looking for their runs right from the first ball, just stopping the ball on the offside and getting the quick single and turning 2s into 3s. Excellent run in between the wickets.
Jones has gone, the breakthrough has come for Philip Newport. There's unrestrained joy from the England players. They really needed that. It's a sharply lifting delivery. Jones couldn't get his bat out of the road of it. Australia 411 for 5.
Now, fine delivery by Phil Newport. Just short of length possibly, but it did bounce. It climbed quite high through to the keeper, chest high. Moved out a bit off the wicket, and possibly if you hadn't been in and playing well, you wouldn't have got a touch. But a very fine innings there by Dean Jones. He looks a very competent player now. Good defence, gets well forward, well back, and you can always see him making runs in English conditions.
Ian Healy's the new batsman. There's a man out at deep point. Give you an idea of how well that was timed. He only had to move 15 yards to his right to cut it off, and he had virtually no chance. Kim Barnett was the fielder, Steve Waugh the batsman.
Neil Foster's 39th over. Oh, dear me, that just shows the problems that are starting to come for batsmen on this pitch.
But the great thing there, Steve Waugh playing very straight. And in fact, the ball just hitting the inside of the toe, and a little bit of fortune for him. On 95, the ball just missing the off stump.
Oh, and there, when your luck's against you, it's against you. And the 2 slips there, neither got a glove to it at all. And Graham Gooch looking disgusted.
England certainly haven't had luck today, I must admit. And here, the ball going between the 2 slips, and would have just about carried to second slip there because he was standing closer than first, but certainly wouldn't have got to first slip.
Now Gooch had moved finer and that ball went squarer. So there we are, and Newport has done everything right. Just sees 8 more runs go in the debit column in the ledger. attempt again. He's dodged it, and 4 runs it is.
Might not seem a lot of runs for, but in this situation, terribly vital. They'd tied Steve Waugh down. He was in the nervous 90s, and he'd be delighted that he got away with that. An edge going for 4. It gets him on to 99, much nearer that 100 than he was when he was on 95.
There it is. And he punches the air with delight, and why not? That's been a brilliant 100. Brilliant. There are his colleagues. He's waited some while for that. First Test 100. And really has set the whole innings alight. Coach Bobby Simpson there. Came in with a score at 273, so out of 166, he scored that 100, 124 balls, 2 hours 40 minutes and 16 brilliant boundaries. $207 for 3 overnight. Out. And suddenly Phil Newport's found the way to get wickets. He's found the edge. They've gone either side of slip, through slip. And there we are, a simple caught and bowled.
Healy favouring the cut in his short innings today, but this ball pitched up by Newport and coming maybe a little bit by surprise into the drive there. Ball might have just stopped a little bit, but quite a comfortable catch back to Phil Newport.
And the new batsman is Mervyn Hughes.
And when he hits them, they stay hit.
Well, Mervu's not been in too long, but Gooch gave him a little bit of room there. It was a good length delivery. Not too much backlift, but by Jove, it was a powerful shot.
He's given up something. Kim Barnett is the fielder and does a terrific job. Graham Gooch has been given the swish by David Gower, and it's to be Neil Foster again. Freitas, not quite. He made good ground to it.
Neil Foster just pitching short again, and Murphy was clubbing that away. You couldn't really describe it as a stroke, but it cleared the Freitas running back, and no chance of catching it.
Well, there's a little tail end heave, which might be 4, and it is.
Yes, just a short arm jab and away that shot to square leg. And I'm sure that Brian Clough wouldn't have signed Chris Broad for goalkeeper.
That is a terrific shot. Barnett, my word, he got there. It's a great piece of cricket.
Well, we had a similar shot to that before tea, and Barnett was the fielder then. Really is good cricket.
Oh, this will be quick if Guy hits. Gracious me, Hughes had to be smart there. Looking even for a second, but good backing up by Hughes.
Well, certainly Steve Waugh didn't hesitate, but I think it would probably have been goodbye to Mr. Hughes if Garrett had hit.
So, introducing the leg spin of Kim Barnett into the attack. His partnership already worth 54. Well, there we go. We've heard of the instruction to let the bat go, and Barnett's forced the issue. First time I think I've seen the bat go further than the ball.
Merv Hughes couldn't believe the short pitch delivery here, trying to hit the ball as hard as he possibly could. The ball flying free from his hands there. Nobody sure which was the ball and which was the bat, but the batsman eventually getting a single.
So, what's Barnett's next trick? There's the 500. Polite applause, I think. Well, the Yorkshire scorer very reluctant to put it there. Come on, you've got to do it. It won't come.
He's hit that. Into the crowd.
A very big man here using a heavy bat and making contact there, and the ball going well into the crowd. A very powerful hit indeed.
Kim Barnett. Full toss, and no point in chasing that. There are lots of people who advocate the casual bowler, try anything. I must say I'm not altogether in favour of that.
So, De Freitas.
What a great feeling for a batsman. Not only his first Test century, but 150. And the warm applause from a Headingley crowd. He'll get away with it. That was a good effort by Kim Barnett, but he was never really on the same planet as it.
Merv Hughes going for the hook here. Missed time on the ball, probably onto him a little bit quicker than he thought. The ball hitting quite near the splice, top edge there, and a great effort there by Kim Barnett. You couldn't make much more of an effort than that, diving full length, trying to catch the ball one-handed.
Applause too for the third 100 partnership of this innings. No bother at all. That's Merv Hughes' 50, and very well deserved it is.
That's a good effort from Merv Hughes, his half-century, and by the close of play another 34 runs have been added to take the Australian score along to 580 for 6, a massive total. Hughes on 63 and Stephen Waugh on 174. Great day for Mark Taylor, a century on his debut against England, only the 15th Australian to do so and the 9th to do it in the first innings of his debut match. Well, much of the conjecture around the ground would have been whether or not Alan Border should have closed around about 5 o'clock. I think at that time I would have closed, and that may be an old-timer speaking, or it may not. I'd have had a go at them for around about 50 minutes. But I reckon Border, when he had a look and saw how well Waugh and Hughes were going, decided to bat on and do a complete demolishing job on the England attack. In fact, he would have been saying at the end, why on earth should I close? In fact, he may even have had a second long look at David Gower and said, you put us in, you bowl us out.